God, if I could pick the dream right now, a recurring character on a fantasy medieval Renaissance series, sign me up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can do whatever you want to me. I'm like, you can mess me up and put me in the cage. I don't know.
What is wrong with you? 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 What is wrong with you?
We got the backtrack. All right, you guys, welcome back to another episode of What is Wrong with You? I am joined today by my lovely guest. I'm so happy he's here. His name is Stanton Longoria. He is an actor. He's the first actor that I have on the show.
And there's a lot of things that are wrong with me. Reasons why I'm here.
No, you're so lovely. So we met in class.
Yes.
And we did
Yes,
this
we did.
play together. Well, it was like a scene from play.
Well, we were, I don't know if you recall this, but we were just coming back to class from the start of the pandemic in the middle of 2020.
It was that long ago?
Yeah, it was that long ago.
gosh.
It was 2020.
Wow, that does not feel like... I was thinking like, oh, like last year or something. It doesn't feel like that.
Well, you know what's funny? The last 3 years have felt like 10 years.
Yeah.
And then they've also felt like it's been 1 year. Like I felt like 2020
Yeah.
was last year in some ways, in a weird way.
It does feel like that.
Also because, with that being said, I felt like the pandemic never ended. It just trickled to,
right.
I guess
More.
we're here now.
Yeah,
and we're
just
slowly going back to normal-ish.
Yeah, kinda.
But yeah.
The last time I saw you, I just wanted to share this because I don't know if you remember, but I had came to class one day because I didn't feel so good before class, but I was like, oh, I'm just gonna like tough it out and I'm gonna go. Well, I had been sitting through class, and for those of you who don't know what it's like to do scene study class, there's like stage lights on you a little bit, so it's hot. And so I was sweating like profusely and I felt like I was going to throw up, and I wrote my scene partner a note and I was like, I don't feel so good, BRB. And I ran to the bathroom. And this is so nasty, but I threw up in the bathroom and then I came into another area where you were.
The DUSA.
Yeah,
the
is that
DUSA
how you
studio.
say it? Yeah,
I believe that's how you say it, DUSA.
Well, I just went in there because I was like, I can't go back into the class like this. And
Was I doing testimonials?
yeah, you were filming
that's right. I was filming
testimonials.
testimonials.
And there's a couch in that studio, and I laid down on it. But you had told me, you were like, "Are you okay?" And I hadn't seen you in so long, and I was like, "This is."
You have such a lovely caramel complexion, and I have never seen you look more pale. You honestly looked like a vampire from Twilight, and I thought, "What the? Are you okay, homie? What's going on?"
I just had a really bad scene that day. No, but yeah, that was so funny because then I was like, I'm gonna tough it out and just go to like sleep for a little bit, and then I'll wake up and then I'll go back on stage and I'll do the scene and it'll be fine. But that's not what happened. I woke up to like Kim was like, "You're still here," and I
know what she thought. I guess she dipped out or went on a walk or something. No, she's here.
Oh, that was so funny. But yeah, that was the last memory I had
What a memory.
together. I know.
What a memory. I'm
what a
so glad
memory.
you are okay.
Yeah. I survived whatever virus that was. But yeah. I wanted to talk because I haven't seen you in so long.
Yeah.
And you've got like so many things going on, and we used to see each other every Tuesday, but now we don't. And so tell me, I know you have a short film.
Yes,
that you shot.
so a couple. I shot one short film last year, and I can't use it anymore because I've lost like 60 pounds since then.
Oh.
40 to 60 pounds, and I've had a tummy tuck and liposuction surgery since then as well.
Slay.
So I don't look like that anymore. I'm like, great. I can either refilm it or, you know what? Scratch it. Why not? Let's just start from the beginning.
Right.
But yeah. A couple things have happened since. So as you know, I've been in the working actor now for almost a year and a half. Has it been a year? Yeah, like about 4 semesters at this point, and things are going great. Thank you. Since we last saw each other back in March, I booked a pilot called Raymar, which was being shopped
Oh.
around. A lot of people from
Okay.
Chas read for it.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's exciting.
I don't know the exact number, but plenty of people, when I was talking about it, knew what they were talking. You know,
Oh,
like,
heck yeah.
they just knew,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Yeah, I read for this character and this character." I'm like, "Oh,
Right.
that's so cool."
Heck yeah.
I played Fallon in it, and he is okay. How do you describe this? So, this is a medieval fantasy, but more Renaissance. Think less Game of
Okay.
Thrones. So, to my knowledge, there are no witches, dragons, mythological creatures in the pilot. I don't know. If it gets picked up. If
Right.
wait till season 3,
Yeah.
witches.
There's
Season
witches every
4,
episode.
zombie dragons or something.
Yeah.
You know, I have no idea. It really depends. Really depends on the director and the creator of it.
Right.
But it was fascinating. It was the first. I've had a couple of successes in Austin and the surrounding area over the last couple of years.
Okay.
Like Forging, Texas, for example. I was a part of that one season. That's the. A lot of people from Austin do Forging, Texas.
Okay.
It's the. How do you describe it? I believe they use it for schools, educational programs, but it's reenactments of like the Battle of Gilead. I think the Alamo,
Gotcha.
et cetera, et cetera.
I think I submitted to that, actually.
Yeah.
I think that's what, and then because Carol was like, submit for this, and then they never called me into audition, and I was like, lit, okay.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. It's totally fine. Unless you wanted to be in 102-degree weather heat,
No.
wearing 5 layers of soldier getup
I'm
and
not
all
built
kinds
for
of stuff.
that.
Me neither. Let me tell you. Me neither. I almost had like a panic attack on it just from the heat.
But you did it.
But yeah, I
Okay,
did it.
yeah,
I did
yeah.
it. I did an episode and it was great. I think I was General someone. I died.
They shot you off.
They totally killed me off, and it was great. It was so great. But since then, Raymar has been the biggest thing I've booked as of late, and we're talking.
Congrats.
I was so thank you,
That
but
is so
I was
badass.
I have never been more impressed with an independent production. So I have no idea where they got their funding from. I have no idea what connections outside
Right.
of the production they have. All I know is that they have impressive resumes, and they've worked on some incredible projects, as from AD to script supervisors to et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
But this was the best independent production I've ever been a part of. Everyone was incredibly professional. The effects and the costumes they utilized were incredible. Do you recall the show Salem on the CW network?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
we used so for those of you who don't know, they filmed that show in Shreveport, Louisiana. And about 30-40 minutes outside of the town is a campsite. I cannot remember the name of the campsite at this point, but that's where their set is. That's where their
Okay.
entire facade for Salem, Massachusetts is.
I didn't
And
know
that's
that.
what we yeah,
had no
neither did
idea.
I. I was like, I don't know where this is filmed.
Yeah.
I thought it was Vancouver, like everything,
Yeah.
you know, or Atlanta. No, that's where they filmed, and that's the set that we utilized for
Wow.
for this pilot.
So an independent. Okay, that's very impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Now
and I'm
I see
like,
why you're like this.
This
is
was
the
in the
best.
budget. Okay, we're playing with the top dogs now.
Yeah.
And the talent that they had on this production was insane. Everyone was. They definitely had. I don't know how to qualify it. We didn't have any a talent necessarily, but
Okay.
we had people who have been working in the industry for many years. Who one of our actors is. He's actually a co-star, if not supporting role, in the new Nicolas Cage movie.
Wow.
Oh gosh, what's the name of it? Not Dracula, but his henchman.
I didn't know that there's.
Igor. So the
okay.
Igor movie with Nicholas Holt.
Oh, okay.
He's in it.
That's awesome.
Yes, one of our actors is in the show, or is in the film, and
Sweet.
everyone just has quite the resume. Left
Right.
and right, who have been working. I think a lot of people are either from Los Angeles, New York, or Atlanta.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
they shot it in Shreveport.
Yes.
On that set, and then they all
Yes.
came. Okay, that
Oh,
is
yeah.
so cool. That is awesome and impressive that it's independent and they have all of these people
well,
on there.
what's so ingenious is, I don't believe they are greenlit for a network. They literally put
Oh.
funding together and decided to film a pilot, and not only walk into the room and say,
Right.
"Hi, we have a show Bible, we have an idea of what we want to do, and an idea of a budget, but we have gone through the trouble of filming the pilot." and this is the finished project. These are the actors we chose, and this is what we can do with one episode, let alone, 8 to 10 episodes nowadays that they can do.
Yeah.
So a very ingenious method, but apparently that's now becoming more popular within the industry, especially since, I'm sure you've been keeping up with
everything.
how not just with the writers and the actors strike, but how streaming is definitely going to take a step back, which means less work for us.
Yeah.
Especially in these areas that aren't Los Angeles, Vancouver, or New York.
Yep. Yeah. I didn't. At first, I was like, "Oh, what do you mean things are going slow?" And then today, I got my first audition that I've gotten in like over a month, and I was like, "Oh, that's what that means."
It's so slow. It's so horrendously slow right now.
Yep.
And so,
but it's
I'm crossing my fingers and saying, and I believe my role is one of the roles that has a recurring arc in the show. I know, and they definitely set my character and a handful of characters that I was able. It was great. They combined everything into one night shoot, so we were working from, I believe, 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. the next day.
That seems like it'd be pretty good though to just like knock it all out.
Oh,
or did you feel tired? I'm sure you felt tired.
But
it's
man,
exhausted.
some of the actors on the show are incredible. We had one of our leads, the one I was talking to you about in the oh my goodness, he had about 2 pages worth where it was mostly just him. And I've never seen an actor at 4 a.m. just kill it. And it's a mixture of the story, the homework, and adrenaline, hope.
Right.
Nothing else to give except to be. And simply be. And it was
exist.
The most, I learned more watching him on set than I have learned in a good majority of my life from any other type of, besides the Carol Hickey Acting Studio. I see him working, and I think that's what the studio's teaching. That's what the studio's teaching right there. Just this simplicity of just being, and you are utilizing your tool, your humanity, whatever work you did outside of this set.
Right.
And you are just living in the moment, and you have nothing to give. But you go into survival mode, man. I mean, oh my gosh. Some of us had to pinch ourselves to keep our eyes open, and the camera's right there capturing us. So it's,
God, that seems like, though, that you and that guy and everybody else did play pretend at
we play
the highest level possible.
Because technically, and this is the fun part, and I don't know if this is harder for most actors or easier or simpler, but because it is a period piece, I'm guessing it takes place in the somewhere between the 12th and 14th century, very medieval, very Renaissance medieval. But because of that, and because the script is so good, the story was so good, and it was one of the best pilots I've ever written. And I remember reading it through thinking, there's got to be a platform for this because it's too good.
Yeah.
It's too good, and these characters are yes, there's a lot going on in it, and I'm sure that makes the budget a little bit more extraneous to bring together, but it's so good. And the second I finished reading it, I thought, it was like the little 5-year-old in me was so ready to play pretend. I'm like,
that's the best kind of script.
Yeah.
Where you're just like,
so I'm over here.
We're gonna dive.
Yeah. So I'm over here thinking, God, if I could pick the dream right now, a recurring character on a fantasy medieval Renaissance series, sign me up. And I'm like, you can do whatever you want to me. I'm like, you can mess me up and put me in the cage. I don't know.
So if it gets picked up, then you'll get to
I hope so.
Be a series regular. Oh my God.
I hope so. I really hope so. And oh God, me too. It'd be so great. Well, just going through work to get more work. Oh, sorry, that did not make sense. Going through the reins of getting work as a guest starring or co-starring actor on a network TV series or a streaming network is one thing. Trying to go from that into recurring territory is a completely different thing.
Right.
And I know some people who have been working for several years, and they're just now being able to book multiple episodes a season.
Yeah.
Let alone
come back.
Let alone say, no, we want to sign you for, I don't know, a season and see where we are. That'd be the dream. That'd be really, really great. So I'm over here thinking, can I please go be an actor
Right.
full time?
And yeah,
I will uproot everything and I will just go
Yeah.
live in the woods for 6 months. Come on.
that feels like the dream, though.
Yeah.
Like, seriously,
Oh yeah.
I.
And besides, we all have dreams and fantasies of the kind of show we wish we could be a part of, and you see the type of TV on, that's on right now or ending. One of my favorite shows just ended, Succession.
Oh, I've heard that one's good.
If you haven't seen it,
Watch it.
go watch it.
I
Everyone
need to
needs to
watch
watch it.
it.
It's one of the most brilliant pieces I've ever seen, and it's that type of show that has almost Shakespearean quality to the writing, and it's so
Okay.
brilliant. It's
You know
so brilliant.
what we've been working on that I'm curious if you have been to?
What's up?
Sorkin scenes.
We just wrapped our first Sorkin scenes
We did
today.
that this week. But you know what I discovered that
Tell me.
I always honestly dread like period pieces, and I know Sorkin's not like a period piece. Well, not like all of them, but anything like that has like very hard dialogue. Like last year when we did Sorkin, I was like, this is so cool to learn about the way he writes, but I can't do this. Like, I really can't. I'm not built for that. And I just feel like I didn't give myself credit because this last scene that we did was from West Wing, and
Who are the
it
characters?
was so much fun. I played Ainsley.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but it was the scene where she's like, I'm a Republican, and she gets offered the job.
Right.
And so it's very wordy, whatever, but I was like, I'm gonna stop spending time worrying about if I can get this, if I can. I know that I know it, and it's gonna, like, I'm just gonna have fun.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. And I'm
Isn't
like, can
it?
we do that again?
Yeah.
And then it made me realize, like, he really does have the best write, like, this, just the way that, like, the story is, it's almost like I don't want to say, like, cradle, but I was just like, there's just so many different dimensions to the way that this is written.
There's
Like,
it's linguistic intelligence,
Yeah.
because he does focus a lot of his writing around historical acts or politics. He's very
Right.
good at adding politics, whether it's the Newsroom, The West Wing, The Social Network isn't necessarily a political thriller, but it's definitely obviously it's about it's obviously about the origin story of or
Right.
his take on the origin of Facebook. But there's something Shakespearean about the writing because there's a pace to it, there's an articulate form, there is a vocabulary to it, and the characters are so smart, creative, and yet they're humans.
Yep.
They're complete humans.
Yeah.
They're heightened humans, let's say that, because I don't think anyone could take away an Aaron Sorkin piece and say, man, I don't want to sound like one of his characters. Oh God, I wish I could sound, wish
one of
I could
them?
sound like a Aaron
Yep.
Sorkin character 24/7.
Right. But
I wish I
think
could.
that's what, like, makes it fun, is because in my real life, I don't talk like Ainsley. I don't have that.
me neither.
Like, we
yeah.
don't, well, we could, not to say we don't, but I was like, oh my God, like, I just get to be, like, so intelligent and cool for, like, 15 minutes. And I don't know, I just felt like.
And you are intelligent. We're all intelligent and cool, but there are different forms of intelligence and
Right.
how we articulate that.
Right.
Some people, like my husband, for example, if you get on a certain subject, he can go at the speed of light. Sometimes when he is very, very passionate, and he'll be the first one to say, "I'm no Sorkin character," but there is a certain way he is able to. He has a wide vocabulary. He has a wonderful articulation. We practice actually together. We practice.
Really?
Well, because I have X dialect training, and I had a teacher that engraved to the point where she would say, "Did you talk to your mother or someone from Texas today, Stan?"
Really?
And she said, "Stan, not Stan, Stan, the correct way."
Stan.
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 So if you're looking at the IPA form, the linguistic form, it's the A backwards E. So man, Stan. Not
Okay.
necessarily Oppy British, but
Right.
very standard American pronunciation, almost New England.
Gotcha.
but she would say, she would say, did you talk to Mom? Did you talk to your mother today? And I said, yes, I just got off the phone with her, Deborah, and that's her name, Deborah.
Right.
And she would say, I can tell. You're dropping your T's and D's. Apparently, Texans drop their T's and D's. And we say,
That makes sense.
a lot. So, like, Stan, man, can.
I do that too much.
We, the biggest one for me, and don't at me, you all deserve it. We all deserve it. Because I know some incredibly intelligent people in tech, e-commerce, Amazon sales, etc., and they all do this. Fur instead of for. People say fur instead of for, and nothing makes me cringe.
Now you catch on to people.
That's the one thing. See, the only
Right.
person I will correct, because I just don't want to be an a-hole, is my husband, because he started saying fur at one point, and I said, don't you dare. Don't you dare say that. It is for. We will say for in this household.
When you have children, if you have children, you're going to be like,
I actually have.
four?
We actually. So we're in the middle of IVF surrogacy right now.
I was going to ask you about that.
We have 4 embryos on ice currently.
Really?
Yes, we have 4 healthy embryos on ice.
Aw.
The next steps will be finding a surrogate.
That is amazing.
Yeah, so a
How
lot of
excited
I'm gonna
are
be
you?
this time
You're
next year. I'm gonna
be
have a kid.
Dad, will you let me babysit it?
Absolutely,
Oh,
absolutely.
my heart.
But oh my goodness,
Are
yes.
you excited to move into the chapter of like? I always see the parents at the studio. So also, I
Yeah.
forgot to mention this.
What's up?
If anybody, just for anybody that's listening, that we go to the same acting studio. So
Yes.
I've been saying like we go to class.
We
and
go
we've
to
been,
class.
Like, yeah, but we just go to the
You're
same
not gonna
acting
know
studio.
about it because it's for the elite.
We will never tell you where it is. But I always like, see the parents who are actors, and I'm so amazed because sometimes when I want to be lazy, I'm like, oh, I have to do homework again today. And then I'm like, no, there's people in class who have like 5 kids and a full-time job and they get it done. And you're going to be a parent now.
I think
and
of
an actor.
April Patterson.
Oh, I love her.
One of the most brilliant actors. April, shout out love.
She is.
She's brilliant.
her.
She's brilliant. She's one of the most beautiful, loving individuals this earth has ever had. And she is a mother to a 17-year-old, 15, 16-year-old.
I believe 16.
Her son's
15.
tall. Her son's tall.
He
I'm like, you
is.
could be 22 for all I know.
He
I mean,
is.
he looks like a baby, but
Yeah.
man, I'm like, dude, you were tall.
And her children are all so intelligent and talented.
They're talented. They're
and
intelligent.
responsible. I watched.
They know martial arts. They
They're
can
all black
sing.
belts. They play guitar. Yes, April is one of the most hardworking people.
Yes.
If not like the most hardworking person I know.
She's also a teacher, and she's at the studio.
Yeah.
She's also and with kids of all things.
Yep.
If she's not being a mother and an actor, she's working with
She's-
children.
yep.
But I always think of her going forward because she brings nothing but her A game, and she has to have time to absorb the story and
Mm-hmm. Yep.
to bring that. She also has a wonderful ability to just tap into this depth and this
Right.
range, which to each his own on how long it takes to get
Right.
there. It's taken me I've been at the studio now for 3 years, and I feel like I just now cracked another level of depth
Stuff,
in my
right.
work, to the point where I can continuously cry if I need to, but make it real
Right.
without
right,
being
right.
distracted from life, the pursuit of happiness,
And
or
everything else.
people watching me and watching
Yeah.
the vulnerable aspect, which is just gross. It's
Right,
so
right.
gross, but it's part of the it's part of the scenario. It's part of the gig. But I always think of her and that commitment. So I'm personally not worried.
Right.
It's just a matter of. It's weird. I'm ready for this change in this next chapter, and I'm slowly letting go of what my life was before children. And I'm slowly
Right.
letting go of that. And about a year ago, I think I started mourning my my placement in life because change was going to come. And now I feel like I'm going into a transition where I think I've either been thinking about it so much that I'm just ready for it, like rip off the Band-Aid man.
Right.
Or or I think I'm just at a mature point where I just turned 32 recently. So I feel like I'm at a certain point where, okay, I'm looking at the world differently a little bit. And my tolerance for bullshit, for example, is incredibly low now.
Right.
And I feel like I'm wasting less time getting to a place that I want to be in.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
with that being said, children I think are a part of that, and it's just a matter of, it's going to be hilarious. Watch, the second that kid is here and is put into my arms, and I'm done. I'm done. They're going to call me. Raymar's going to call me and say, buckle up. We're either greenlit or, hey, we need you to go fight for your role. So get on camera and start workshopping some scenes, do a screen test, whatever.
And then it'll be time. Hey, but
which I'm like, great, because the universe has worked for me in the most ridiculous ways like that.
Right.
And I think it's because I'm a product of chaos. I have.
Me too.
Yeah, it's a common thing with creative types, you know.
Right. To just, I remember one time you also told me this. When we had taken class together, it was so hard for me. Like, I don't know what it was, but I just was like so inside the shell where I was like, I'm not gonna, like, nobody's gonna see me. I'm not even gonna work on this.
You didn't want to share. You didn't want to let us see you, and we're like, girl, let us see you.
No, but I'd be like, I can just like cruise through this thing and like put it on a facade and like it's fine. I don't have to be vulnerable. But I remember you had told me something about, I don't even remember exactly what you said, but you were like, I think a lot of it comes from survival mode, and I was like,
we were in my house. We were at my house, and that was the night that we did our scene, and you cried. Carol, don't add us right now.
I know, we were not supposed to be practicing.
We weren't supposed to be practicing, but we needed to.
We did.
And it was worth it.
It was. But now it has taken me 5 years. And it's a little bit like, I wish that I wouldn't have like held myself back. But some of the things in life that I have like gone through, I'm like, wait, I have a better understanding now. And now, weirdly enough, I'm like, I can be vulnerable and like do this. Like, this is
what's so weird is that, and here's what got me. I stopped thinking about the work logically, and I started thinking about what was actually happening. And Kim said this once, and she says this plenty of times actually, but I remember the first time she said, there's a couple of things. One, whatever's holding you back in your life is going to hold you back in here, because you can't hide behind it. It's all you. Two, if you are not feeling this in your body, in your soul, if you aren't feeling like you are having a panic attack or something, you're not doing it right. And in order to do that, it's a huge acceptance. And she said that word, acceptance. They use the word conduit a lot, being a conduit for the work. And that really sparked with me, especially on the set of Raymar, because it was the first time where I said, I'm a part of the 1% today. I get to actually be a part of the actors who go to work, and I'm on set all week, and I have a job to do, and they are counting on me, and it's a job, and I can't fuck up. And I booked it. I booked it. Now it's sink or swim.
Right.
And I walked in with the mentality. Surprisingly, it didn't eat away at my anxiety. Well, it kind of did, but it kept me on my feet. The realization of, all right, you got here. Now what? Now you actually have to do the thing. So you're either going to sink or swim, and those are your only options. So you better swim. And what it did was, it really tested my abilities of, one, am I actually worthy of this, and can I do this continuously? Because if I can do it in 1 week, let me gear up, because then all I want to do is grow from there.
Right.
And then two, it's a matter of, if you can't do this, you need to stop. You need to freaking stop, because you're just wasting your time. And at this point, it's not a matter of, can you do it? It's a matter of, you're not allowing yourself to do it.
Yeah.
You know you want it bad enough, but you're not allowing it.
Right.
Because you're either too scared or it's too real and you're not ready for that acceptance.
Right.
And going back to some of our early topics before the camera started rolling and the microphones were picking us up, there's a lot of self-progression I've been working on within myself. And a good portion of that was let go or process and really meet what's holding you back so that you can go there and you can have that amount of depth and range. not only that, but to be able to do it continuously
Yeah.
for content.
Yep.
And, okay, great, we're wrapped. Moving on.
Right.
It's 9 p.m. We'll see you back here in 6-7 hours to do it again in another context.
Could I ask you?
Of course.
Like one of the challenges, because I have worked on a series before, but it's like, it's been like very low budget. Like it was fun, but it never got. It was on Amazon for like a little bit, and then they took it off, and then I was like, okay, a doll worked on it too.
Oh, okay.
And, anyways, so but every day, this was like I was so green. This was maybe like my first year, so I just feel like I didn't really have like the full experience, if that makes sense. So I'm wondering with you, like you said you were on set like all week. What do you feel like was like, do you feel like it was a challenge to go, which I know the answer is yes, it probably was, but like what
So
do you
easy.
think you
So easy. I just woke up. No kidding.
No, do you think you took away a lot from the character you play? Like, do you feel how do I want to voice this? Do you feel like you do so much work on something, on a certain role, and then do you feel like when you walked off set, you were like, I still have like more to discover? Like, do you feel like you were in that place of discovery every single day?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Why did it take me so long to ask that?
No.
Question? I was so curious.
But it's funny though, because a few things that we shot, there was nothing we shot that I felt, damn, I wish I had one more take. No, I felt very. Well, it was nice. I felt very confident about everything that we shot. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That was like fun, like, all right. I feel good about this. So that was nice. But what was interesting was, check, moving on. Okay, throw it out and switch. Because in the script, for example, we're working on pages 12 and 13. And then we're working on pages 7 and 8.
Right.
And then another scene which is on page 22 to 24 or something, and it's and then we had to go back and film something from the other pages, but we needed a different set. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's so that was the challenging part of, oh wow, okay, get in this mindset over here, in this mindset, and I was watching Actors on Actors with oh gosh, I'm going to butcher his name, Stephen Yao and Pedro Pascal.
Okay.
And Stephen was with Ali Wong in, I think it's called Beef on Netflix.
That new show she has out.
I was watching their interview, and he mentioned something about the filming process for the series, and he said, we were filming things, like I would have 3 or 4 scenes to film in one day, maybe more or less, but they were from episode 8, episode 2, episode 3, and I've never heard that. Usually, I've never heard that before, but I'm like, could you imagine doing, especially if, let's say, you're on a series and you have 8 episodes to film, and you're leading them, and you have, or you have a big role, but let's say, for example, 6 months pass within that first season. That's where I already think it's hard to go from what happened in one episode to another episode, let alone, oh crap, like weeks are going by, months are going by, and I'm at a certain place in episode 8, and then I have to go back to episode 2.
Right. They're like,
go,
hey,
it's
back.
it's bonkers.
Yeah.
It's absolutely bonkers. There's reasons why film is a little bit, it's not easier necessarily. There's just a less complexity with the structure arc.
Yeah.
Because believe me, years can pass in a film as well.
Right.
But, it also depends on scheduling. It depends on what sets are available and how they build the schedule. And I've never built a schedule like that on a network budget, so I have no idea what's the first thing they start with,
In my mind, I'm like, I get stressed out making a schedule for a short film.
Like I think one of the first things they do is, okay, we're on location for this and this and this. When are we going to do that?
Yeah.
And then when are we in the studio? So for example, we were filming Raymar on the Salem lot for a number of weeks, and then we went, I'm skipping out the name, but we went to a nearby studio, lot studio that's there in Shreveport, and they filmed for another, 7 to 10 days? And that's where they built the castle and the moat and the chamber for the princess to be in and whatnot, her bedroom chambers or something, and I think the dungeon or whatnot. So it's interesting how okay, so we're here for like 3 or 4 weeks, and then we're in the studio.
Right.
Shameless. When Shameless was on, and they had to go to Chicago to film location, they usually waited at the end of their season. So
I didn't know that.
Because
Okay.
because they filmed on location in Warner Brothers Studios. I think it was
Really?
Yeah. I think it was like 17,
I
18 or
know
something like
that.
that. Like the house was on
Yeah.
one set. I think the neighborhood was on another set, and like the diner they used for a couple of the seasons, it's right around the corner.
Wow.
They've used so many parts of the WB
Yeah.
lot to
I don't know
reenact
why
it.
I didn't know that it was.
Oh yeah.
shot and, like,
But that was a show that filmed for what, 6-7 months,
Yeah.
maybe longer,
Right.
because it was a 23 episode arc. So probably
Yeah,
like more
that
for
was-
8 or 9 months. But they were filming there, and then I remember one season I was working at WB while they were shooting one of their seasons, and they said, "Oh yeah, but they're going to be gone." Where are they going? Oh, they got to go to Chicago and film everything on location. I'm like, oh wow, and that was like the last, I think, month or two
Yeah.
of their set. So I'm like, huh. So
That's-
if you think
yeah.
about how how TV works, and it's going to reiterate a point I was going to make earlier about the actual work of the actor. It is so not about us.
No.
It's so not about us.
No.
It is 100% about the story and about fitting within the second reality.
Right.
And that has honestly been, it used to stress me out. It's now been the most rewarding thing and the most freeing thing of,
Right.
yay, I don't have to worry about myself. Like, yes, the camera's on me and I have a responsibility, but it's so not about myself.
Right.
Add a little bit of humanity, add a little bit of humility, I suppose.
Yeah.
And that was the most rewarding thing of, okay, I can keep up with the schedule. I can keep up with this and this and this.
Right.
All right, I can do this. I proved to myself that I can do it, which was nice,
is
which is a very
awesome.
rewarding
Yeah.
experience. And I think that's one of the biggest problems because there's not a lot of TV and film out here. And I think
Yeah.
what's happening is that a lot of actors are doing well and they're booking these roles, but they don't understand the pressure of an entire, 300 to 500 person set waiting for
Yeah.
them to get it right.
Right.
And then have
And
the
this-
pressure of producers and executive producers on set, and a director who doesn't always have the time to be kind.
Right.
But like, yo, let's do this.
One
Let's do
of the
this.
things that Kim tells us in class, she's like, I'm the nicest person that you guys are going to come across.
It's so true.
And I'm like, I know that it's true, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, wait, you're right. But like,
Can someone hug me?
I did this feature last year at this time, and it's almost done, but we were on set and like it was so hot and
Congratulations, by the way.
thanks. It was fun, but I have a little bit of like mixed like feelings about it on my end because I didn't know that I was supposed to speak Spanish until I got to the set.
Oh.
Because I read the script and I was like, okay, like I can say these words, and then they were like, no, we need you to do it in Spanish. And so like in between every take, the little girl who played my daughter was like trying to tell me like how to say it the Spanish way, and I was like like
The things we do to get the job and
yeah,
the positions we're put in.
I know.
Sometimes.
But it was like so great though because we were on a farm and there were so many horses and stuff, and I was like, okay, like this is fun and one day I will laugh about this, but it's not today because I don't know if I'm gonna say this word right during this take, but like had I had not like known the actual story of what was going on, like I would have been so lost. But it was just
Yeah.
like it's gonna like the film's gonna be ready soon, like probably within a month.
Congratulations, wonderful.
Thanks, but my family's like, where can I watch it? And I'm like,
You ain't seen this. You ain't ever gonna see this footage. No, it's okay. I always think about no one will ever ask me of this. No one will ever
I
ask me about
might
this,
now.
but no, but no, you won't. But I always think about what if I ever get put in a situation where oh, part of the character, or part of the story is, oh, you got to have a sex scene, or you got to have like something provocative or something like that. And I think, how the hell would I say,
No.
everyone watch it except the people I know?
Yeah.
Unless you want to see some stuff or something like that, you know?
Yeah, I feel like that way though when my family's like, "Can we come see a show?" I'm like, "No."
I just
Please.
sang at a concert that my so I'm a part of
You sing?
East Side. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How did I not know that?
Because I don't do it a lot in front of
Okay.
people.
Okay. You have so many talents.
I I no I have so I actually graduated as a musical theater major. As a main
Really?
focus. Yeah, there's an
Okay.
alternate universe
That's no
where I went to
surprise,
Broadway.
but-
And
What? You went to...
yeah, and tried. There's an alternate universe out there where I
Okay.
actually did, but I ended up thinking I don't think I'm good enough to do that. And I also don't know if I want to do it anymore.
Right.
Fell in love with film and television. That being said, I sang for so I've been a part of Eastside Music School in downtown for the last, I think I'm going on 2 years now. A good year and a
Wow.
half, somewhere in between.
Okay.
And I just did my first recital sometime last month. I think no, earlier this month in early June. And it was the first time I sang in front of people in a crowd in a long time, and I loved it so much. I wish I had the time to do theater, but
wanna
it's so
see a
it's
recital.
it was on
Let me
Instagram
know.
actually.
Really?
Yeah, it was on Instagram.
Is it on your,
My
like,
husband
feed?
posted it. Yeah.
I follow him, so I'll go.
But
look.
well, I think it was a story, not a so
Dang.
it was disappeared. It's gone.
I will never find it now.
But because of it, I'm now excited for the next recital.
yeah.
And I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
I
Do you
missed
think
it. I missed
you
it
will
so
like
much.
hop back into theater? 'Cause I feel like I have auditioned actually. Like,
Yeah.
this was maybe a couple months ago. I went to the first like theater audition that I've done since the pandemic. And I
Nice.
I was like, oh my God. Because before COVID, I was going to a lot of theater auditions, but my voice is not loud enough for theater. That's the note I get every single audition. They're like, we can't hear you.
I'm gonna teach you how. I'm gonna teach you diaphragm work.
I would love
next
that.
time. Next time we get together.
I would love that.
Um,
But are you gonna audition for any place?
well, that's just it. I would love to. I would love to work with the Alchemy Theater
Yeah.
and Michael Cooper. I really would love.
He's
I
great.
really would love to work with them, but every time, because the Alchemy Theater has a set schedule and there's only a number of shows that they put on, it's always the shows are always on certain months where I have things booked in advance for, and it's either
Right.
and it's either. I'm not gonna lie, some of it is recreational, but some things are well, crap. That's where all these workshops in Atlanta happen, and I'm always trying to be a part of those, or
Yeah.
something. There's always something that comes up, and I think, crap. It's not. It's a mixture. It's a difference between missing one rehearsal and saying I'm unavailable already for that 1 week, and
Yeah.
and also
A whole week of
theater
rehearsals.
is so time consuming. I love it and
Yeah.
I miss it. I would kill to be in a musical right now. I would kill to do a straight play right now. There's a list of plays and musicals I would love to do.
Yeah.
But most of them take about 5 or 6 weeks of rehearsal, including a tech week. And
Right.
if you're going to make it worth it, have a month run, in my opinion. But then there's
Yeah.
2.5 months gone.
That you don't.
And because
every
the
weekend
theater scene
too.
is popular here in
Right.
Austin, there's really not a lot of professional theater, and I don't think, in my opinion, and what I want out of a career, I don't see it pushing my career. If anything, it's all recreational. No, it's not just recreational because it's also our core passion. It's the theater is
Right.
the actor's true
Right.
playground. But there's not a lot of professional theater out here, so
Yeah.
I can't justify it. I even
yeah.
I'm forgetting which theater company it was, but I got into Anna in the Tropics back in 2021,
Okay.
and
Was
I got
it-
one of the leads,
Oh.
and I can't believe I got it.
yeah.
But looking at the schedule, and because they kept pushing it back
Yeah.
due to the other Delta strain and Omicron coming out,
Oh yeah.
so they did the show I think a year later. I'm like, I could have done it
No,
probably, but I
yeah.
said no as soon as I got it. I realized they're asking for like 6 weeks plus
Yeah, it's
4 weeks of
a
a
lot.
thing, and at the time I was trying to transition into a different agency, and I was like,
That's a lot to like juggle doing. I feel that
I'd love to. I'd love to do it.
Yeah.
I'd love to do it. But the brilliance of filming your own content at home and pulling things from certain TV shows is you can do it in a day if you have the time. If you do the hustle, you can do it in one day or less.
Right.
But man, I miss it.
I
really do miss it.
It is like so fun. I got asked to be like an understudy, and I like in Austin, but I said no because I was like I can't like commit
for an understudy. No,
not get. I was like, if they got the flu and then I got to do it, that'd be cool. But I can't. No. For me, I was like, okay, well that's cool, but no.
Unless you're Elphaba and Wicked, or something. Yeah. Or they're paying you to be an understudy.
But
it's just not worth it.
3 callbacks. This is where I've got to get out of my head because I did 3 callbacks with them, and I was like, oh my god, like
3 callbacks. They held you on that long.
Yes, to be like, do you want to be an understudy? And I was like,
was this Zach Theater? I'm reading the energy.
I'm not gonna go.
They're never gonna hire me, so it's fine.
They're never gonna hire me either. I'm not gonna name drop, but no, I know who you're thinking of. That it could be at Zach Theater. It wasn't them. It was someone else. And then I felt bad that
they didn't have anything to do with it, but I bet they had something to do with it.
Probably. I had
such a bitch.
No, you're not though, because everybody feels that way. I have I used to audition for like Zach Theater when I was little, and just like the word, it's not. But anyways, I had sent like well wishes to, because I was like, I can't do this. But at the time I was in conservatory, and I was like, would you mind like checking out some of my other work? Because you know how you can like invite everyone to the showcase,
right?
And they just like emailed me, unfollowed me or didn't email me back, unfollowed me on Instagram, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm not ever doing a play there. Didn't know you needed somebody. Yeah, seems like something Zach Theater would do, but it's not. But I'll tell you when we get off.
Please tell me. I'm going to stay clear from that theater company. Yeah. Let me like, you ever seen Pitch Perfect?
Yeah.
I want to drive by that theater and just throw a burrito at the door or something. That sounds awful.
I know, yeah. So then after that, I was like, but oh well. But, I think we have to wrap soon.
I think so
sad.
too. I think so too. I'll come back if.
Please, this has been so lovely, and I'm so happy that I got to see you and hear about everything that's going on. So the pilot isn't out yet?
No, it's not. I just heard from the director, and he said, and I quote, "This strike is not going to stop us, but things are still working out and whatnot, but they're still going strong." And I imagine for as good a content as they were able to put together and film, they have to be taking their time with post.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, well.
But I'm hoping. I have the energy that either this summer or fall, they'll hopefully start shopping it. I really hope so. And for all I know, maybe they've started the process, but I'm hoping for the best. I think the team is incredible. Our wonderful director and writer was, oh my gosh, everyone was just so incredible, and I kept thinking, man, I would really kill to come back and work with everyone here for 6 months for the next several years, or however, or maybe I die after the second episode. I don't know. I could see it happening, but
still,
if they do it, let it be a big dramatic death. Yeah, like Pedro Pascal's death in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, well, do you have anything else that you want to plug for like anyone to check you out?
Well, if you find me decent and think, what's his problem? I really wanna dissect his issue. You can follow me on Instagram at Stanton_Longoria. I am posting more content. Right now I'm posting a lot for my husband's new company coming up, which we will discuss next time.
Yeah.
And soon it will be filled with baby and dog stuff, because that's my future.
I cannot wait.
And I'm actually going to start, the first thing I'm going to start is I'm going to start posting audition videos.
Sweet.
Self-made stuff. And I'm going to start with the Aaron Sorkin scene that I filmed today, because we crushed it.
Look at you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Crushed it today. And I'm like,
heck yeah.
Kim gave us the best compliment. She said, everyone should do this scene.
Really?
Everyone should do this scene.
What scene were you doing?
Jim and Maggie from the newsroom. It's the God, what's my line? It's the one
I'll
where
have
it's
to-
one where they're talking about where Maggie, they want Maggie to do an interview with Brewer's office, and Jim is coming saying, "Hey, why don't we do a practice run?" And she's like, "I've been here for 3 years. You've been here for 3 days, or a
Right.
year. You've been here for 3 days. Get out of my way," type of thing.
Oh.
Ooh, what's this magical box in front of me? Blah
Yeah.
blah blah. You know.
Okay, I
It's
may
in the
ask you to
first
email
season.
me it
Yeah.
because I don't think anyone from my class is doing that.
It's a brilliant
So-
scene because it's politically driven. The language is linguistic and articulate and smart, but there's so much happening in the scene.
Yeah.
There's so much happening, and they're great. And I wouldn't use the word at the studio, but they're great characters for people to have. And I agree. I think it's one
Right.
of the simplest scenes of Aaron Sorkin to do, but because of that, there's so much to do with it.
Yeah.
So if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Everyone should go do it.
Everyone
I'll
should do
I'll
it.
send you the
Please
scene.
do.
It's really good.
I'm excited to read
Thank
it.
you so much. Thank you so much for having me here,
Thank
Janessa.
you for coming on, and thank you guys for listening to this. I have some dates to plug, but you know what? This will not be out by the time I do my shows this week, so I will plug July dates later on. Thank you guys.
Buckle up.
Yeah. Yeah. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
What